Hello everyone, it's YouTuber 15 here, and we are here for the next episode of F1 2017 Career Mode, and we are going to be in the Spanish Grand Prix today. But first, before we head to the qualifying of this race, we're going to do an invitational event in the classic cars. So let's go.
It's time for a well-deserved rest from the championship for a classic exhibition event today. It's winner takes all, so who will emerge on top in this unique challenge?
So, we are here for the invitational event, and it's a time attack, and we are doing it at Spielberg in Austria in the 1991 McLaren MP46. Our goal is to finish the race in under 3 minutes and 52 seconds. Basically just drive around the track in the time limit of 3 minutes and 52 seconds. So there's nothing really much to compete apart from the driving. So now coming to turn 1, braking into third gear, and 3 minutes 45. So this is going to be 3 laps of this track in 3 minutes and 52 seconds. That's basically what the goal of this is. Driving 3 hot laps of the track in 3 minutes and 52 seconds, or within that. And we are behind the Williams, and we're going to get past him. Maybe a little bit of a slipstream has helped us there. We actually overtook that guy, so we're actually racing people, even though it's a time attack. It says we're in P5 at the moment, and we head to 3 minutes. As we come into this corner, third gear, and now into turn number 6. Third gear once again, and we're actually catching the car ahead, Kaufman, as now we're coming to the last 2 corners of the lap, the first lap in fact. We've done it within 1 minute, so we've done it within more than 1 minute. We go coming across the line, and our second lap, we have 2 minutes and 35 seconds remaining to do 2 more laps. Here we go into turn 1, braking into third gear, cutting the corner just slightly, and now coming through onto the straight towards turn 2. Here we go, there's Kaufman ahead of us, we can see it, you can see him. It's now coming into turn 2, there's the Williams of 1992, that's what it is. The 1992 Williams. I don't know what it is, the FW 18, I think. No, that's too early. No, I don't know. I don't exactly know the models of the cars as much. Anyway, coming through into turn 5, the left-hander, third gear through all the corners. Now coming to this corner, braking down to third gear again. And we're going to get the slipstream on the 1992 Williams of Kaufman. Coming now into the final 2 corners of the lap. Here we go, we're going to go on to the last lap of this invitational event. We are very close to the back of the Williams, as now we're going to go side by side with him, and we're going to overtake him onto the straight. That puts us into 4th position on track, and we're going to go up the inside of the Ferrari 1995, and that puts us into P3. Now we have 1 minute and 9 seconds left, so can we complete the lap within this 1 minute and 9 seconds? Here we go, coming into turn 2. Braking down all the way to 2nd gear, and now we're coming through onto the straight. We have less than a minute left now. Can we complete this event within the time limit? Hopefully we can, because if we don't, then Jonathan won't be very happy that much, so yes, we need to impress him. Now coming into turn 5, and braking into 4th and 3rd. We have 30 seconds to go, and now we have 3 corners remaining. Now coming into the last 2 corners. And now coming into the last 2 corners now, braking down to 4th gear. And to the final corner, we have 10 seconds remaining. Are we going to cross the line on time? Here we go. Cross the line now. I mean, within 3 seconds to spare, and we cross the line and get the event done. and the goal is completed. So with 3 seconds to spare, we've done that. And there you go, we completed that within 3 minutes and 49 seconds. As the goal was to finish in under 3 minutes 52. We did it within 3 minutes and 49. So we did it with 3 seconds to spare basically. And we are now going to get the available, or get our career score points for the invitational event. We've got a total of 1,805, makes it 18,803.
Hi. I've got something you'll be interested in. Those performance upgrades we discussed after the last race. They're on the car and the data looks promising. Take a look at the details.
So that new upgrade that we did for durability from the last race in Russia, we did a durability of the internal combustion engine, and that has been fitted to the car. So now the internal combustion engine will wear less, will have a less chance to wear. That's what that means. It will have less of a chance to wear out. The durability means like it makes it more durable basically. That's what it sounds like. And as our turbocharger is running out as well, we're going to upgrade that, and we're also going to upgrade our control electronics. And after last race, our gearbox was starting to go off a bit, and we're going to change that, which means we will apply a grid penalty for the Spanish Grand Prix. So wherever we qualify, we will drop 5 places on the grid. So that is really unfortunate for us. But our qualifying goals for the Spanish Grand Prix, we need to qualify in 7th or higher, and we need to beat Esteban Ocon. But if we qualify 7th, we'll be 12th, so it's not really ideal. Anyway, here we go. Let's head into qualifying for the Spanish Grand Prix.
Here we are at the Circuit de Barcelona-Catalunya for the start of today's qualifying session. It won't be long now until we're ready to join the action down at trackside. So then, Ant, it's another Grand Prix weekend, another exciting qualifying session ahead of us. What are you going to be looking out for over the next few minutes?
The first question is going to be who can avoid making mistakes. There isn't much margin for error in qualifying, and you have to bear in mind that the track conditions may have changed since practice, particularly as we've had a few support races in the meantime. If the brake bias settings, for example, don't take this into account, it's extremely easy to lock up a front wheel and cause a flat spot. Just like that, your lap's ruined, and you've wasted a set of tyres to boot.
So here we are for the start of the qualifying session here in Spain, and we're going to go out straight away. We obviously cut the video a bit. You're going to go out straight away in these soft tyres, of course. All found the softs, and this is the round 5 of the season of FY 2017 Crew Mode, and in the Force India. And now we're coming out of the pits. Lance Stroll sets the provisional pole lap time. He's actually the first to set a lap time. And now coming out the pits, and Valtteri Bottas gets provisional pole with a 1. I didn't actually, that time was too quick, I didn't even read it. As now coming through into turn 2 into turn 3, we're going to actually let the car behind us through. There's a car behind us, and we're going to let him through. And it was actually Pascal Wehrlein in the Sauber. We're going to let him past. Well, he did just then. As we're chilling in our outlap here. Is now coming through into turn 5. We're going to let also Valtteri Bottas through after he grabbed provisional pole. As now here we go, coming into the chicane, and this through second gear, and now going to go flat out into the final corner now, shifting up through the gears, and DRS wide open now, coming through onto the straight. And as we start our first lap here in Spain, and are coming down onto the straight, coming down towards turn 1, and we're going to brake down to 4th gear, it's in the apex nicely, coming through into turn 2, flat out 5th gear, and down to turn 3, we had to actually shift down a gear and lift a bit. Turn 3 is not exactly flat out in this game. And coming into turn 4, we go 4th gear, as now coming through into straight towards turn 5. downhill braking zone into third gear. As now we go down the hill once again, and now Sebastian Vettel gets provisional pole. But where are he? Sorry, I can't talk at the moment. Where are we compared to him in the second sector? Now we have a fast turn 9, and the DRS is open, braking down towards the hairpin. We are 1.4 seconds off Sebastian Vettel's second sector time, so that's pretty bad, actually. And now hitting the curve through turn 11, and now through the long right-hander at turn 12. Going through into third gear, and now coming into the last sector of the lap. And now coming into the final chicane, second gear. Oh, missing the apex a lot there. That's very bad. That's going to lose us a lot of time. As now coming through into the final corner, DRS open. And it's going to be a 1:21.6. That's going to put us in 8th place. That's a really bad lap from us. The chicane really ruined us there with that lap. That lap was really ruined by the way I took the chicane. So that is not cool. And we just understeered off the circuit, almost spun out actually. But now, here we are with Kimi Räikkönen, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the session. Here we are with Kimi Räikkönen coming through into the chicane. And now into the final corner. Here he goes into the final corner, he has DRS open, he's going to cross the line, and he's going to go onto provisional pole. Kimi Räikkönen on provisional pole, beating Sebastian Vettel at this moment. And we have an insufficient time remaining to complete another flying lap, so that's unfortunate. And we're not even going out as well, because Esteban Ocon has decided to go into the pits. And we cannot go out because he is being serviced by his mechanics. So we actually cannot go out on track, so we can't get another lap in, so this has actually turned out to be bad. We've had to wait for our teammate to come into the pits and go into the garage, and that has used up more time. That's used up even more time, and we will not have enough time to complete another lap. Yeah, there you go, 1 minute and 4 seconds. There is no way we can get to the line on time, even with less than a minute to go. So we are currently 11th. And if we qualify 11th, we'll be starting 16th for the race. Obviously due to that grid penalty. So this could be our worst quality position since Australia, where obviously we were last. But our worst qualifying position when we qualified is in Australia. I didn't qualify thanks to the weather. As actually because we did actually run out of time. I did run out of time in the session. The session ran out of time just as we started the second sector, and I just forgot to brake at the hairpin on purpose. There's no point to go on. So the order for the Spanish Grand Prix qualifying. Kimi Räikkönen is on pole position for this race, ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel of Ferrari 1-2. And then Lewis Hamilton in third, for Mercedes ahead of Valtteri Bottas in fourth, and Daniel Ricciardo ahead of Max Verstappen 5th and 6th, and Felipe Massa for Williams in 7th, and Nico Hülkenberg 8th for Renault, Carlos Sainz 9th for Toro Rosso, then Romain Grosjean in 10th for Haas. Then we are in 11th, and because we're 11th, we're going to start in 16th in the race. Kevin Magnussen is 12th, our teammate Esteban Ocon is 13th, Daniel Kvyat is 14th, Julian Palmer is 15th, Stoffel Van Dorn is 16th, Lance Stroll 17th, and I missed it. I missed the rest of it, so I was too slow with the results. Damn it. And now results points after the qualifying. We don't get many because our qualifying was actually pretty bad. The expected position was 8th and was underachieved by 3 positions. We only got 45 results points, putting us to 1,763 in total. So that's unfortunate there. Here is the rivalry update. And we are still beating Ocon in the rivalry by 4 points. 17-21. And yeah, we lost our points in team approval due to not qualifying 7th or higher because we failed that objective. And we did beat Esteban Ocon in qualifying, so we actually got those points back. So here we are, going to the race for the Spanish Grand Prix.
What does the Spanish Grand Prix have in store for us today, I wonder? I hope we see some tight wheel-to-wheel action down the main straight, circa Mansell and Senna way back in '91, or maybe we'll have a more strategic race here on a track where overtaking can be difficult. It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. Anthony Davidson is here with me today. Together we'll be taking you through all the action of this Spanish Grand Prix. It can be hard for the cars to follow each other closely here due to the dirty air coming off the car in front. So perhaps we're looking at a more strategic Grand Prix, Ant. What do you think on that?
I'm not too sure about that, Crofty. I mean, yes, as you say, it's hard to follow around here, but if you're brave on the brakes, you can get the job done down into turn 1, which is a medium-speed corner, so you have to be committed. And looking down at this grid today, I think we're going to see 1 or 2 drivers making a move from a long way back, maybe try to force their opponent into a mistake. I don't think this is a race that's going to be purely decided in the pit stops.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Kimi Räikkönen starts today from pole position, and starting alongside in P2 is Sebastian Vettel. Looking down the rest of the grid we have Hamilton, Bottas, Daniel Ricciardo, and Verstappen, Massa, Hülkenberg, Sainz, and Roman Grosjean, Magnussen, Ocon, Daniel Kvyat, and Palmer, Van Dorn, and a Force India, Lance Stroll, and Marcus Ericsson, Wehrlein, and Fernando Alonso starts from the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
We're below where we should be on the grid. We want you to go in aggressive, take a few positions off the start. Remember, be aware and keep safe.
That's quite interesting, Jeff already telling me to go aggressive at the start. He's just telling me to go aggressive because we're in lower position than we should be. So, lower position than we should be. In the moment, we're going to start 16th today for the Spanish Grand Prix. And we are not going to go in aggressive at turn 1, Jeff. Okay, so, sharp. The race strategy, pretty simple. Soft to me. Here we are for the formation lap. We're starting beside Van Dorn. Yeah, we've got to wait a long time because we're at 16th, so we've got to wait a long time. For that, we actually started a bit too early there, but it's all good. As we're now coming through onto the straight, weaving our wheel onto the soft tyres. Here we go, coming through to turn 1, and we are still in 16th behind Van. Well, obviously we're going to stay in 16th for the entire formation lap. And coming through into turn 2, this is how I warm up my tyres basically. That's that turning. It looks wrong, but that's how you warm up your tyres. I've seen real life drivers do it. And they turn in sharply through the corners multiple times. So yeah. I've seen that before, and I've actually seen real drivers do that. But I can't really do it properly with a pad, to be honest. As now here we are through turn 12 and now through to turn 13. And into the chicane now. And now we're going to get ready for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix here in the circuit of Barcelona-Catalunya. So it's our lowest position on the grid when we qualified, and we actually set our lap time in qualifying as our lowest position to start. We go lining up in P16, Lance Stroll, Ericsson, Wehrlein, and Fernando Alonso lining up behind us. So now here we go. Start ready for the start of the Spanish Grand Prix. And away we go for the Spanish Grand Prix, and that's a pretty bad start from Van Dorn. as we come down towards turn 1, and Lance Stroll comes alongside us. Coming down towards turn 1 now. Van Dorn has dropped 2 positions at the start. He's now coming into turn 1. We go up the inside of Palmer and Grosjean, but we don't quite get it. And Stroll actually makes contact with us, and we are staying in 16th now. As now Stroll and Ericsson side by side behind me, and understeer through turn 3 makes us go wide. As now coming into turn 4, we're going to go up the inside of Lance Stroll and the Williams, and we get past him into 15th place. As now coming up the inside of Palmer through turn 5, this is going to put us into 14th now. And that's going to put Lance Stroll alongside Palmer. So that's going to be a nice wheel-to-wheel battle. And Stroll gets on the inside. Does he know Palmer hit the inside line there? As now coming into turn 9, we are dropping back from Grosjean slightly. But there's actually a huge battle ahead. I think it's a 4 or 5 way battle there. It's a Williams leading it, and there's a there's a Renault side by side with someone, and there's Jolly and Palmer trying to go on the inside of us. Grosjean trying to overtake the car ahead of Esteban Ocon, that's our teammate. That's now coming through into turn 12 and through to turn 13. Through onto the chicane, we're about to end lap 1 of this Spanish Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel is leading this race at the moment. Here we go, we're going to get some good traction on the Haas of Romain Grosjean now. We're going to get the slipstream, and we're going to go to the inside of him. Coming down towards turn 1, we're going to go side by side with Grosjean. Coming through to turn 1, we have the inside line, and we're going to overtake him for P13. Here we go, Grosjean on the inside line into turn 2, and holds on to the place. And now coming through into turn 3, understeering once again and going off the track. And they're coming through into turn 4. Here we go. You're getting very close to Romain Grosjean. Coming through into turn 4, and now coming through the downhill into turn 5, up the inside of the Haas of Romain Grosjean, and we're going to get that move into 13. So, we've made up 3 places within 1.5 laps. As next up is our teammate, Esteban Ocon. Coming through to turn 9 now, and we're going to go showing a replay of the start. Raikkonen was on pole, Vettel got an absolute flyer, and he got it the lead immediately into turn 1. Hamilton also got a good start, and he was alongside both Ferraris into turn 1. Raikkonen actually lost 2 places there. And you can see us coming down the inside of the Renault and the Williams. And actually Raikkonen lost 3 places. He got passed by Vettel and Hamilton and Bottas. And he was down to 4th by the end of turn 3. So that was a very interesting start. And there's us going down the inside of Lance Stroll through turn 4. And us coming up the inside of Jolly and Palmer through turn 5. That's a very, very good move. And now through to turn 7. As now here we are on lap 4 of the Spanish Grand Prix. We are still behind our teammate Esteban Ocon. We have struggled to get past him in this last few laps so far, because the DRS not being available doesn't really help. But now the DRS is available, and if we get close enough, we can go for a move on our teammate. We go through turn 13. And we go a little bit wide there. And now through into the chicane. We're going to get some good traction there on Ocon. We are very close to him through the final corner. DRS is open. We're going to go side by side with our teammate Ocon. Coming down towards turn 1. Here we go. Side by side with him, and we're going to go tuck back into the slipstream. And we're going to go back up the inside into turn 1. Here we go side by side through turn 1. Ocon is the inside line. We're going to go switching back to the outside. We're going to go round the outside into turn 3. And we're going to go overtaking. We've overtaken Esteban Ocon for 12th place. That is finally the move on our teammate. And we finally get past him into 12th place. Next up is the Toro Rosso of Daniel Kvyat. Coming into turn 5 now. Lap 5 of 17 here in Spain. And it's a pretty good comeback from our terrible starting position due to our grid penalty. And here we go, Sebastian Vettel continues to set fast laps out in front. Meanwhile, on lap 5, we are going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. And we're going to go onto the medium tyres. And our teammate is going to get past us once again. Here we go into the pit lane for our set of mediums. And pretty decent stop, maybe. Yep, a pretty decent stop from Force India. And We are on the mediums, our second stint of the race. And we're going to be released from the pits in last place, probably, well, most likely last place. So we go through and coming out of the pits, and we are most likely in last place. Through into turn 2 and 3. And let's see what happens in these in this second stint, whether it'll be better or worse. And obviously, yeah, we're in last place, P20. So that was what I predicted, and I got it right. And we go through turn 5 and turn 6. Through the chicane now. Are we going to get the undercut on a few people? Maybe our teammate. We're definitely going to get ahead of our teammate. Here we go, ahead of Grosjean. And we might get ahead of Hulkenberg, or as Hulkenberg overcut us. Now Hulkenberg is ahead of us when he was behind us before, so here we go, we're going to try and overtake Hulkenberg now. Through into turn 3 and through turn 4. Here we go, Hulkenberg now in the Renault is ahead of us. Coming through into turn 4. And now through turn 5, here we go. Are we going to get past Hulkenberg? The Renault and the Toro Rosso up ahead. This is the Renault's Hulkenberg, and Sainz is the Toro Rosso ahead of our battle. Now through turn 9 we go. We have DRS available, and we're going to go up the inside of Hulkenberg into the hairpin, and we're going to get past him into 18th. And our teammate is now in the pits. Hopefully we can get ahead of him. As now we are now catching Sainz this corner. It's now through the hairpin now. Sainz is we were ahead of our teammate at that point, but now Lewis Hamilton is going quite slowly. Does he have some kind of issue or something? Because he is holding up a train now, and he's got Magnussen all over him, and Carlos Sainz, and me, and even Hulkenberg. So it's a 5-car train, and this is for 8th. As now here we go, coming up to the straight. They all have DRS, and Magnussen's going to go to the inside of Hamilton, and he's going to overtake him. So Hamilton has an issue, clearly. As now here we go up the inside of Sainz, and we're not going to get that move done. Sainz is the inside line through turn 2. And we're trying our best to get good traction, but we understeer once again through turn 3. And go a little bit wide. Hulkenberg's still behind us. And we're in 10th place at the moment. More people in the pits at that point. As now through turn 5. As now into turn 12. Kimi Raikkonen has set the fastest lap of this race, as Sebastian Vettel was doing it last time. As now here we go. Magnussen's pulling away from Lewis Hamilton. As now here we go. Behind Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton now coming through the final corner. Here we go with DRS open now. Sainz is going to get it, and he's going to try and get past Hamilton. But now here we go. I'm going to get the slipstream of both of them, and we get past Hamilton, trying to look on the inside of Carlos Sainz. It's a 3-way battle for 8th place in this race. Here we go. Sainz has the inside line through turn 2. We're side by side through these first few corners. Here we go to turn 3. There's a little bit of contact. Sainz oversteers a bit, but now we're still side by side. There's more touching. We have the inside line into turn 4, and we get past both Sainz and Lewis Hamilton, and we get up into 8th place. Very good move from me there. I would love to see a replay. Here we go, Lewis Hamilton's point of view, his rear view. Here we go into the final corner. Definitely has some kind of issue. Carlos Sainz now had DRS, and look at us going past. Look at that, Hamilton has got swamped by 2 cars. It was almost 3 wide at that point. As now here we go, me and Sainz wheel to wheel through turn 1 and 2 and through turn 3. And look at this contact, there we go. Oh, look at that, that's very close. There was more wheel banging through that corner, and we have the inside line into turn 4. And that actually brought Hamilton alongside Sainz. And Sainz got a 3rd bang on the rear wheel. So that was very interesting battle with a bit of wheel banging involved. As now here we go, lap 11 of the Spanish Grand Prix. Carlos Sainz is catching us now. Is he going to get past us now? Here we go onto the straight. Starting lap 12 of the Spanish Grand Prix.
Okay, the pit window
And
has
Carlos Sainz has DRS on us onto the straight. Is he going to get past us? I don't think so. As now coming through into turn 1, Sainz is getting closer and closer, but does not quite get the move there. As now coming through to turn 2 and flat out through turn 3. Here we go. There's not that much I can see through that corner, because I actually did it right.
the gap
Sorry.
to the car ahead is
As now here we go. We're actually catching Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. As now through onto lap 13 of this race. We are catching Magnussen in the Haas now, and we're going to get past him by the end of this lap. Here we go. We're catching him pretty quickly. We might get 7th place in this race. That'll be a very good result considering we started 16th. He's now coming through to turn 4. And now through turn 5. Our energy store is on 56%. Maybe we might need to change that in a few races time. But our new turbocharger and our new control electronics have actually been worn by obviously the stuff in practice and qualifying. So they're already on 20% or 16% or wherever it was, I don't know. But here we go, we are really right at the back of Magnussen now. You've caught him up in this last sector. Here we go, are we going to get past the Haas of Magnussen? Coming through into turn 12, here we go through turn 13. Coming into turn 13. As now through the chicane. Here we go. We are right at the back of Magnussen now. Are we going to get DRS to get past him? Coming onto the straight now. Here we go through the final corner. We're going to get some nice traction. Here we go. Slipstreaming Magnussen now. With DRS coming down towards turn 1. Magnussen tries to defend the inside. We're going to go to the outside of him. Coming through into turn 1. We're going to go round the outside of Magnussen into turn 1. And now through turn 3. We are holding it around the outside and we get into 7th place. A very good comeback. From 16th on the grid, we move up into 7th place. A very good comeback from us. And can we catch Felipe Massa? I highly doubt it, unfortunately. It's now through into turn 5. Here we go on to the final lap of the Spanish Grand Prix. We did not catch Felipe Massa. We were nowhere near him. As now into the final corners of this Spanish Grand Prix. Here we go into the final corner, and we're going to finish in 7th place. After starting in 16th on the grid, we finish in 7th place. A very good comeback from 16th on the grid. We gained 9 places. That was a very nice race. A very exciting race with a comeback through the field. Starting 16th after our gearbox penalty, and we finish in the points in 7th. A very good race. Ferrari have won again in this season. Sebastian Vettel is the winner of the race.
Raw pace, plain and simple. I mean,
And Valtteri Bottas denied the Ferrari of a 1-2.
But at the
Or
end
no,
of it all,
maybe not.
if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over
Actually,
everyone
don't
else.
think so.
And that's exactly what they
And
had
Lewis
today.
Hamilton, a disastrous race for him. He's finished 10th.
And as we can see,
After he had some kind of issue
as the drivers
with this
make
car,
their way
putting
out,
him past,
there's a
putting
familiar red
Magnussen
suit
past him,
making its way to the
Carlos
top
Sainz
step.
past him, and of course I
Fantastic
passed him
win
as well.
for Ferrari.
It was actually a Ferrari 1-2. Sebastian Vettel won from Raikkonen, and Bottas got 3rd. They spray the champagne as Vettel celebrates his win. It's 2 Finnish drivers on the podium, and the German won the race. As now they are waving to the crowd. And the results of the Spanish Grand Prix. Round 5 of FY 2017 Career Mode Season 1. Sebastian Vettel wins for Ferrari from his teammate Kimi Raikkonen. Valtteri Bottas in 3rd place for Mercedes, I should say. Verstappen in 4th, and Ricciardo in 5th, and Massa in 6th, then me in 7th, and Kevin Magnussen, and then Carlos Sainz, Lewis Hamilton, Nico Hulkenberg, then Esteban Ocon in 13th, ahead of Fernando Alonso, Stoffel Van Dorn, Lance Stroll, Jolyon Palmer, Romain Grosjean, Pascal Wehrlein, and Marcus Ericsson. No retirements happened in this race as well. It's the 2nd race in a row with no retirements. Russia didn't have... Actually no, Russia did have one. I completely forgot because it was such a long time ago since the last episode. Sebastian Vettel leads the championship by 39 points from Kimi Raikkonen. Then Valtteri Bottas in 3rd, Daniel Ricciardo. then Lewis Hamilton 5th, then me in 6th, Max Verstappen 7th, Esteban Ocon 8th, Felipe Massa 9th, Romain Grosjean 10th, Daniel Kvyat 11th, and Nico Hulkenberg 12th, Carlos Sainz 13th, Kevin Magnussen in 14th, ahead of Stoffel Van Dorn, Jolyon Palmer, Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Marcus Ericsson, and Pascal Wehrlein. And the Constructors' Championship, Ferrari lead it by 73 points, Mercedes in 2nd, the Red Bull in 3rd, ahead of Force India in 4th. Our team is in 4th place in the standings. Toro Rosso 5th, then Haas in 6th, and Williams move ahead of Renault in 7th and 8th, then McLaren in 9th, and Sauber in 10th, the only team not to score points so far this season. Hopefully, Sauber will score points at some point in the future in this season. Our resource points after the Spanish Grand Prix, we gained 9 places. That gave us 50 resource points, and now that's a total of 125 resource points there. As now with the rivalry update, we are probably going to beat Esteban Ocon by the next race in Monaco. Here we go, team approval, and there you go. We are getting better now. We are getting a better team approval because of the comeback we did in that race. It's a very nice comeback from 16th on the grid to finish in 7th. And our career score, we got 4,443 points, and the season total for 22,096. As now here we go, we are going to do a little bit of an R&D upgrade, possibly, for the aerodynamics. And it's going to be, because it's Monaco next, a downforce track, that's why we're going for the aero upgrades. We could possibly go for a rear wing or a front wing main plane. But where are we going to go for? I think we should go more likely for the front wing main plane. That would take us 1,000 resource points. Yep. We're going to go for the front wing main plane for the front downforce upgrade for the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco's a downforce track, so we needed to go for the aero upgrades, or upgrade some kind of aero package. And we did that. So that was a very good race here in Spain. It's a good comeback from 16th on the grid, finishing 7th. The next race is in Monaco, the Jewel in the Crown race. And please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. We've been stuck on the same subscribers recently, so I appreciate it if you do subscribe. Click the bell button for notifications as well when you do subscribe. And goodbye.